Welcome, welcome, Mr. Samlee.
Hey, how are you doing?
We're great. We're just happy to see your face, happy that you're here, excited for your nuggets, and the meeting's already recording. And so, you know what? I'm just going to hand it straight over to you.
Sure. Well, let's see who we have here. Paul, Janelle, Blockchain Pain, BTCC Queen, Cecilia, Helena, Seja, Zuhair, Beckford, Paige Along. Sorry, I'm butchering people's name.
You doing good though. You doing
Doing good,
good.
yeah.
Teresita.
Yeah, that's my invite
um,
there. She gonna be one of your next stars there, Sam. So you keep a close eye on her. Yeah.
Deja.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Excellent.
You got that right. My name right.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, you know, it all starts somewhere. Still all starts somewhere. First, you putting your name on a Zoom, um, and then joining a room, me reading out your name wrong, and then apologizing. You correcting me. You know, sounds like a very good beginning. You know, a very good beginning. Yeah. So
Faces.
very nice. All right. So yeah. In front of my whiteboard again. I just really feel that for this space to kind of come together and not just roll around and make the same mistakes over and over again, is we need to identify those mistakes. You know, if you don't have the ability to collect data at the end, then you don't have the ability to identify mistakes. So what allows people to really just move forward is to recognizing mistakes so that we don't repeat them again. I know we're all getting tired of making mistakes. And so it all has to just start with not making simple mistakes. Because the problem with being really capable is you then don't look at what is immediately around you. Okay? What is immediately around you? You might be able to see things 100 steps ahead, but you might assume that the thing that is happening in the next turn just won't happen. Assumptions are our worst enemies. Okay? How do we reach assumptions? There are two ways of reaching an assumption. We reach assumption. Okay, I wrote math class, math club already on the whiteboard, but sorry, I'm a little bit sleepy today. But we reach assumptions in two different ways. Okay? We reach assumptions because we have trust, or we reach assumptions because we processed the data. Okay. So the thing is, if you assume your opponent will behave the same way and you'll win if you behave the same way, and then you're wrong. Okay? Just because they haven't done that to you before doesn't mean they won't start doing that in the future. There is always the probability. Okay, and it's probability. If we just filter it down to what we as people do, you know, game theory and probability come together in a very amazing way. But the thing is, it's all about probability. Okay, now the problem with this is over time, as we get older, we build more trust in old relationships. Okay, in old relationships. And it doesn't mean that they will never take advantage of you, even though they've proven themselves that they could have taken advantage of you the first time or the second time or the third time. Okay? So they could have taken advantage of you, but they haven't taken advantage of you. Okay? Because guess what's happening? They're building up trust. Oh, surely this person wouldn't, you know, do something over $1. But what about $1,000? Oh, he wouldn't do something over $1,000. What about $1 million? What about $1 billion? Okay. It's always down to probability. The larger the stakes, the more probable the risk. Do not go against what is already ingrained in humanity, which is we are all sinners, and one of the biggest sin out there is greed. Okay? So when you trust someone with $1 and then $1,000 and then $1 million, you get my point. It gets to a point where you're leaving yourself more and more exposed to the best friends in your entire life to screw you. So, did they mean to screw you? Did they want to screw you? but you kept on leaving yourself open because of what? Trust. You kept on leaving yourself open, kept on trusting people. Oh, I'll just trust him with $100. I'll just trust him with $1,000. Oh, I'll just trust him with $10,000. Gone. Right? That's the value of your friendship. And that is where you find yourself realizing that you have forced your best friend to you have forced your best friend to take advantage of a situation, and then your best friend will struggle for the rest of his or her life to look themselves in the mirror and say that I'm a good person, right? We need to understand that it is their fault, but it is also ours. It is their fault, it is also ours, because we simply gave them the chance, due to trust, to do whatever they need to do. So we give them the chance to hurt us, and in a split second, you know, there are how many seconds in the day? All right? There are how many seconds in the day? There are 60 seconds in a minute. 3,600 seconds in an hour times 24. I don't know. But in a split second, all that needs to happen is in one of those seconds, that person decides he wants to screw you, and there is no recourse. There is no recourse, right? If he screws you or she screws you, no recourse. That's a lot of seconds that you're leaving yourself exposed. Handing over money or a favor and expecting them to pay it back, that's trust. Society would not be functional without brave people trusting people. So I trust, and I continue to trust, and I come to a point where I realize that trust must come with consequences. So where we are is if I trust you, Kirsten, and Kirsten trusts Paul, then should I trust Paul? Well, human nature says yes, but programming says no. Maths says no. So what happens when me and Paul does a deal? And the deal goes wrong. Do we both blame Kirsten or do we both blame ourselves? Hi, Paul. So you could see how fragile a network is. You could see how fragile also net worth is, because your net worth, when it is built on top of trust, and the trust is gone, then you don't have a network anymore. You don't have net worth anymore. You know, and that is why I've consistently, once I realized that I'm too much of a smartass for this world, to just go and just look at the data and run things from the technology side and just stay away from all of this mess of emotion. You know, this mess of, hey, let's just trust. But then seeing the numbers, seeing what happened, and seeing the trust that is broken, you look back and think, how can we not do that all over again? Okay? Because what happens is, in order for Kirsten to make sure that Sam and Paul like each other, Kirsten stretches the truth a little bit about Paul. Kirsten stretches the truth a little bit more about Sam. You know, in order to accelerate that exercise. But anything that moves quickly always comes with higher risk. And that is why there's a lot of people in this space that say fast is slow, slow is fast. Okay? But one of the key things that this space lacks compared to the more, I guess, institutional side of the world is data. Okay? Because what data does is it attracts people who data mine, okay, to turn that data into knowledge. So, what is data? Data is where you end up going from fast is faster. And you go from faster is fastest. If we're able to look at just the data and be transparent about it, then what we're able to do is, oh shit, is go from fast is faster, faster is fastest. We need to accelerate the growth of value in this space. And the way we do that is make sure that we bring people in to this space the right way, so that they can see how things play out. Because history repeats itself, okay? If I've just been watching and observing, good. We want them to keep on observing. Because when they figure it out, they could finally add zeros to the end of their bank accounts. Because if you are moving in the traditional financial ecosystem, you are in the slow lane. If you are doing things through the blockchain, you are moving in the fast lane. Fast lane means what? It means a lot of rule breakers, a lot of crazy people, and a lot of things that don't make any sense anymore. Gravity-defying stuff. As if it was magic. But that is how the world moves forward. We will have more and more people from the slow lane join us on the fast lane. But if it's their first time, they're going to hurt themselves because they're used to driving slow. They're used to earning 1 or 2% a day. Sorry, 1 or 2%. They're used to earning 1 or 2% a year. So instead of taking a year, we complete that journey in a day. How does that actually happen? Well, we've already made it very transparently clear. It's through liquidity. You know, that's how everything works in this world. You know, no fiat currency is backed by any natural resources. It just is backed by the trust of the government. Okay? The trust of the government. Sorry, I have to just get a call. Give me a second. So there's going to be a lot of people who want to go in the fast lane because they see a lot of people doing very well in the fast lane. But that's all they see. They don't see the disasters. Right? They don't see the disasters. And this is what we need to do. We need to bring more people to the math class, because the next video, I'm going to not talk about trusting data anymore, okay? The next video, I will be talking about how to interpret data. Because only after you finally can interpret data can you start making some decisions. So let's focus on what we have right now, which is a small group of people that are not happy with the way the world works and are looking for alternatives. Well, you found it, but you also need to understand that this is a space full of crazy people coming in, trying to, you know, get rich or die trying, and making mistakes that they cannot afford to make. The bull market is coming, and everything works in a bull market. But what we need to do is make sure that we are the most intact community on the other end of the bull market. Because having liquidity when the music stops is where we pick up the discounts that we need in order to rule the next bull market. For those who know me, seen me operate in the last couple of years, they know how I have basically encapsulated human capital by creating campuses so that people can innovate in this space. We need to create these campuses globally. It started with the Blockchain Center in Melbourne, Australia back in 2014, the first physical location where everybody just hung out and really exchanged their ideas, their understandings, and then brought leadership to this industry. It's not going to be just the Blockchain Center anymore, because it is all about how we bring everything that is around us into the world of blockchain, applying blockchain to everything that is around us. But first, we need to make money by making people understand what money is. And the definition of money is forever changed through blockchain. So let's focus not on the super complicated stuff. Let's focus on the simplicity and the beauty of just bringing people from the slow lane into the fast lane. Okay, safely. Because for the first time they come into this space, they need a good experience. Because without a good experience, then all the energies that we have spent you know, as leaders, recruiters, or promoters, is wasted. Is wasted. So tomorrow, in the next class, which is Monday, New Zealand time, Sunday, UK time, we will focus specifically on interpreting the data so that we can then make sure that the people that we want to bring in always have a great first experience. Okay? Done.
I love that, Sam. Yeah. Something that I'm learning in these classes that I really, really didn't know that I needed, but now I do know that I need, is that I was one of those people that trusted. I would look to somebody else to make my decisions for me because I didn't feel like I was smart enough or knew the industry or whatever enough. So I would trust somebody that I had elevated onto a pedestal to make those decisions for me, because I thought, well, if they're doing it, I trust them, so I'm going to do it. So this is rewiring my brain where, yes, I might not have known before, but I'm learning how to make those decisions for myself. I don't need somebody above me to make decisions. I can learn about it and make decisions for myself. And that's the brilliant thing, because then there's no one to blame at the end of the day, is there? There's no one, oh, but they told me to do this, and, you know, I was just following their lead. Well, yeah, those days are over. Me and Paul, we're gonna be our own leaders. We're gonna lead ourselves, which is great. And you're making this possible. And I'm not saying that we couldn't have tried to maybe learn this some other way, but you have accelerated that learning already for us, that we don't need a leader. We don't need to follow anybody. So thank you very much. I'm very excited about all this learning. And I know everyone else in this classes. I can see that the class has grown by another couple this week. And I think the momentum's going to grow, because once they see the value of this class, and it's a short class, it doesn't go on for hours and hours and hours, it's structured. Come, learn, get out and go practice. Thank you, Sam. I love it. Have you got time for Q&A, or do you need to jump off?
Yeah, I do have time for Q&A, but I'll just kind of shut off the camera. I need to jump in a car and
Yeah, no, that's fine.
make a move.
I'll just, yeah. Has anyone got any questions?
Yeah, but no, I'll be on Q&A. Thanks.
Yep, sweet as, buddy. Okay. And if there's no questions, we'll just shut it off anyway. Has anyone got any questions?
No, I got an appreciation instead,
Yes.
because I'm also learning, and I'm learning a lot, and I am so happy about this, and cannot get my arms down, and is trying to get my team back, just at least for them to come and see what we are doing. So, and they will stay, so I have no questions about that. So having a great time. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the hard thing, right? Because we all of us in this room, I'm sure, went from the slow lane to the fast lane at a great speed and all got hurt. And it's about, and I mean, we brought people with us into the fast lane really quickly, and they got hurt too. So it's about sort of turning the clock, well, not turning the clock back, changing how we go and bring people in from the slow lane into the fast lane, and try and recoup some of those hurt ones too, you know, which won't always be possible, but we've got to give it a go. Thank you, Danelle. Anyone else got anything to say? I think we're all just stunned at the end of these classes, trying to just take it all in. Well, if that's us, I'm going to end it now. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. And really, by coming, you're only benefiting yourself, because this is available to us for nothing. It's just a bit of our time. Like, I'm just so grateful. You guys have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are.
Thank you, everybody. Talk to everyone later. See you guys later.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.